Chandu, I'm having, while recording, I'm just getting audio file. I don't know what's going on.
No, there will be also video file. We have to convert that.
Yeah, after conversion also it's showing audio file only for me. I don't know what is the problem. I don't have last two class videos.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
about Rafiq? Rafiq, you have the videos, yes?
Yes, I have videos.
Can you please send me the link in the
Yes.
chat? Yeah, I'll just save it, download it.
Okay, one day I will ask, I will test like how you are doing the labs and so on. Because doing the labs is very, very important for you.
Okay.
So in today's class, we need to learn about the OSPF. So when you are going for the OSPF stands for Open, Short, Path First. Open, Short, Path, FIRST. Actually, OSPF is, we have like a documentation. OSPF is developed by a person called as John T. Moy. And he has written a book called as Dynamic the Routing Protocol of OSPF. Dynamic routing protocol of OSPF. You can say an anatomy of a dynamic routing protocol. An anatomy, okay. And he is the father of the OSPF routing protocol. So when you are going for OSPF is an open standard protocol. Open standard. OSPF can be configured in Juniper, Palo Alto, Fortinet, Cisco. No, it's like an open standard. Anybody can use it. OSPF, it is a IGP, a link state dynamic routing protocol. You remember in the protocols, we learn about the dynamic. The dynamic routing protocols are divided into two types. We have like an IGP as well as EGP. The IGP stands for Interior Gateway Protocol, whereas EGP stands for Exterior Gateway Protocol. Again, the IGP routing protocol is subdivided into two more types. We have something called like a link state. We have a link state, and again we have a distance. Sorry, the first one is the distance vector, and the second one is the link state. First one is the distance vector routing protocol. So when you are going for in the link state we have the OSPF as well as we have ISIS. We have the ISIS. So OSPF is a link state IGP dynamic routing protocol. OSPF uses an algorithm called as SPF. Uses SPF or Discustra. Discustra algorithm. So according to this algorithm, because you remember EHRP uses diffusing update algorithm, and the metric that the EHRP is using is 5 values like bandwidth, load, delay, empty unreliability. But OSPF is going to use like any shortest path first. like it has like a 10 power slash 8, okay, 10 power 8, then bandwidth, BW. So according to its algorithm, every routing protocol, they have their own metric calculations to select the bandwidth. Of course, in another word, you can say OSPF is also going to calculate the best path based on the bandwidth only. But they use the word called as cost. Metric is equal to the cost. Cost is equal to 10 power 8 slash bandwidth. And by default, the OSP of routes, you can say OSP of routes will have the administrative distance. Will have AD value, AD MNIST or administrative distance will be 110. OSP of routes will have the administrative distance with 110. And OSPF is going to support like unlimited hops. Is going to support unlimited hops as well. When you are configuring the OSPF requires more planning because of its hierarchical designing of areas. Now concentrate now, because OSPF is widely being used every service provider network, every big enterprise networks. They use OSPF because as it is supporting unlimited hops. OSPF requires more planning. You can say because of its hierarchical designing of areas. We must create an area 0. We must create an area 0, which is a central area or main area, or also is known as main area, and also it is known as core area, where all areas must be connected to or must be connected, and all data is transferred. All data is transferred through area 0 only. THROUGH. Understanding? Sir, in OSPF, we have some concept called as area concept. There's something called as areas. So I have one head office connecting to their branches. Of course, the head office connecting with the serial, connecting with the serial. So all this we are going to configure them in one area called area 0. Must be configured them as an area 0. Area 0 is the main area, or it's a core area, backbone area, and so on. Then when this branch is connecting with some another branches, also once this branch is connecting with some another branches again, you see here, yeah, yes. So this router, this serial must be configured in area 0. This serial network must be configured in other area. Take for example, you are making like an area 1, and this is your area 2. OSPF requires more planning because of its hierarchical designing of areas. It's mandatory that you must create an area called area 0. Area 0 is a main area or a core area or a central area. Area 0 connects all other areas like area 1 should be connected with area 0. Then area 2 should be connected with area 0. In a single area, OSPF supports unlimited hops. You can ask me, sir, why you have to delete, why you have to make all these type of areas? Instead, let's make all of them in one area called area 0. But my headquarter router not required to receive the routes from another branches. Or a branch. Take for example, you have HDFC Bank, which is there in Mumbai. The same HDFC Bank also is there in Medipatnam. Of course, you three of you know where is Medipatnam. But Medipatnam branch is connecting with your Hyderabad, the main branch. The Hyderabad branch is connecting to your like Chennai. From Chennai branch is because it's for South Chennai, and South branch is connecting to the Mumbai. But in Hyderabad, we have like so many other branches are there. So the sub branches and for their network information not required to be maintained by the Mumbai gateway, Mumbai router actually, it's not required.
Can I ask one question, Chandu?
Welcome, always, yes.
If suppose I am in area 1 and if I do like show CDP neighbor, so it will show all the areas or only
No.
connected areas?
CDP, sir. CDP always.
CDP.
Remember, this is a CDP is a Cisco Discovery Protocol. Mostly we execute this command in the switches. Mostly we do it on the switches. Yes or no? When you define show CDP neighbor, it displays you like what devices are directly connected. So for switch, which device is connected? Router. The device name is R1.
Okay.
It's connected on the Giga 0 by 1. The same command I will do it in the router. Enable show CDP neighbor. Yes. Now this router 1 is connected to how many? Router 2 and also
to the switch.
2 devices is connected. But do you think this router 1 is connecting the router 3?
No.
So that it does not have the information of that.
Okay.
CDP, the devices what are directly connected devices only will be displayed.
Okay. I was confused here regarding that routing table stuff.
Yeah, the routing table will have the all the network informations of all other areas will be maintained.
Okay. So how to check that? Like if you are in this Mahidipatnam area or any area in Chennai area, but want to check about Mumbai information.
Show IP OSP of database. Show IP OSP of database. In the EHRP, sorry, in the EHRP, show IP EHRP topology.
Wow, super. This one only I want. Let me just make a note.
And which routing protocol you are choosing, you have to know it. Then based on that, we check it, sir. Rafiq, you should ask me the questions, Rafiq. Pranay, adagande. Class attended. Did you attend this class, Pranay?
Yes. Previously,
Also. Good. So OSPF requires more planning because of its hierarchical designing of areas. It's mandatory that you must create an area called area 0 first, because this is what I was written in the notes. So OSPF requires more planning because of its hierarchical designing of areas. So you must create an area 0. Without creating area 0, if you configure OSPF 1, OSPF 10, OSP of 2, for example, you know the OSP of does not make any neighbor relationship. They don't advertise any routes. One of my students have done before. He was trying to do the lab. He was configuring everything. Area 1 he made, area 2 he made, all serials, everything is connected. But he forgot to do this lab. But he is trying to do within these two routers within the area 1, they are unable to exchange the routes information. Then he said, sir, what was the issue? I configured almost area 1 and area 2, everything is same. So OSPF requires more planning. First, you need to configure this area 0. After create the area 0, you can make other areas. So how many areas you can make? There are some numbering. I think it goes around some 2 billion or something. So many areas you can make.
Here, Chandu, area 0 is like headquarter kind of thing, like main branch.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So because you keep there like four core routers, high
Okay.
speed routers, high speed gateways will be configured in the headquarter. In the branches, we have a distribution, and in the branches we can keep like for access layer and like 2950s, 2960s.
Yeah, this one also I have doubt, like uplink and downlink, access layer, core layer. Just a brief overview on that too.
Yeah, in the once you are starting with the switching, I will explain. Don't worry.
Okay.
So,
Thank you.
say for example, this router 1 has some network of 1.1.1.1.1 is IP address. Now, to configure that, I'm going for like in a router OSP of, let's say, process ID, router OSP of 1. It's like, it's not the autonomous system. Process ID, which is significant for the router to identify this ID in the OSP of domain. One router you can configure with multiple process, no problem. So router OSP of 1, then you define the network ID 1.1.1.0, okay. Then take for example it is /30 255.255.255.252. In our understanding, I'm giving subnet mask. I need to give the area 0. Now there is something called wildcard mask. We have a wildcard mask. Wildcard mask actually it is the opposite of subnet mask. Wildcard mask is the opposite of subnet mask. The global subnet mask is 255.255.255.255. And for /30, the subnet mask is 255.255.255.252. So it is going to be subtracted something. It's like a minus, it's going to be subtracted. So the wildcard mask for /30 now, 255.255.0, 255.255.0, 255.255.0, then 255.252 is 3. Means in OSPF, instead of doing subnet mask, always we plan to give wildcard mask like this. More professional. Wildcard mask is opposite of subnet mask bits. If it is a 255 means you have to keep 0. 255 means 0. 255 means 0. 252 is going to be subtracted from 255. 255 minus 252 is 3. This is known as wildcard mask. And when you are creating ACLs, we have to give wildcard mask only. Yeah.
So now, no. Yeah. Here we have area 0, right?
Yes.
If area 0, like the site will be offline. Is there any
always will be having
is there any backup to communicate with area 1 and area 2?
There must be.
At that time,
You cannot have a single path.
the headquarter went down.
On the headquarter network, always will have a dual path. You must have a not a single path. Even ASBS also will be having multiple. So there are. I'll explain that what are the other router types.
Okay, okay.
So, yeah, this is the main. OSPF requires more planning because of its hierarchical designing of areas. So you must create an area 0, which is central area, main area, where all areas must be connected and all data is transferred through area 0. So then OSPF has some router types. OSPF router types. We have something called like a backbone router, and we have a backbone router. We have a ABR. We have a backbone router. We have a ABR. We have a ASBR, and again we have something called internal routers. So when you are going for the backbone router is a router which is configured completely in area 0. The router which is configured in area 0 is called as backbone router. All its serials networks are configured only in area 0. So in my case, the headquarter routers, for example. Take for example this red color router will be configured only in area. This serial network will be in area 0. This is also in area 0. This is also area 0. This is also in area 0 will be configured. But this router also, we have some 2 serials will be configured in area 0. Of course, yes. But other serials are configured in area 1. So what this router is doing, it is connecting area 1 to area 0. So a router that connects other areas to area 0 is called as area border router. Area border router. So what is the functionality of the ABR? Connects other areas to area 0. ABR advertises other area routes to area 0. You see, by connecting, what does it do? Advertises. By advertising, what does it do? When a area 1 user needs to send the data to the area 2, the data will come to the ABR first, goes to the core network, backbone, then go to the area 2, then the particular destination. This is the OSPF. OSPF always, for easy administration, when you have like so many branches are there, so many hops are there, for easy administration, you use OSPF. Take for example in India, there are so many crores of people are there in India. So to manage them, everything, the civil, all the administration, if they want to manage, all India is divided into so many states. And they give every state, they have their own governor, they have their own government, but all the governments are being maintained from central area, that is from Delhi. So ABR stands for area border router that connects other areas to area 0. When you are going for ASBR, ASBR stands for autonomous system boundary router. Take for example, I have one more router here. Otherwise it will be confusing. Let me delete this. Take for example, I have one router. So this is configured in area 0 here. And I have some another networks it has. But here, they configured with some another routing protocol called EIGRP. What is the routing protocol, sir? EIGRP. So this router, what needs to be done is, it needs to redistribute the EIGRP routes into the OSPF and OSPF into EIGRP. So a router who is redistributing the EIGRP routes into the OSPF domain and OSPF into EIGRP is called ASBR, Autonomous System Boundary Router. So ASBR is responsible for advertising external route. Advertising external routes as well. Then the router which is configured in area 1 is known as the routers which are being configured in other area like area 1 and area 2. All these routers are the internal routers. They are the internal routers as well. Okay. And also we have something called like a DR and also the designated router, and also we have a BDR, backup designated router. Designated router, and we have any backup designated router. So the DR is responsible for, see, I have a switch. For example, I have a method Ethernet switch. I have a router 1, I have a router 2, like I have like so many branches are being connected. Let me give, this is your R1, R2, and this is R3, this is router 4, and this is router 5. Now this router 3 has a network of 10.0.0.0 and /8. OSPF functions differently based on its network type. Based on the network type, actually, OSPF functions differently. So this is your broadcast network. When this router 3 is advertising this particular network, it will advertise to the router 1, router 2, router 4, and router 5. The router 4, the route that is received from router 3 will advertise to router 5, router 2, and router 1. Router 1 also same, the route that is received from router 3 is going to be advertised for everybody. And the route that is received from router 4 also is going to advertise. So it happens for every router, because when you configure OSPF in broadcast network, they make neighbor relationship with everybody. So at the end, you are going to have something called loop in the OSPF domain, or in the broadcast network, OSPF is going to make some loop. To avoid this loop, OSPF is going to select one router as in a DR. DR stands for designated router. And the BDR stands for backup designated router. So you can select DR manually by choosing something called priority. Something called as priority. If you don't assign the priority value, then the OSPF is going to calculate based on the router ID. It is going to calculate the DR actually. Priority by default, it's in the OSPF domain. Every router has a priority as 1, 1. All priority is 1, 1 by default. So then, you can define the priority values from highest to 55, 1 to 255. There is a configuration. I want to make this router 1 as a DR. So if you make this router OSPF priority, take for example 255, OSPF router priority 255. I give this is a 254. This is 111. I'm not changing this. So in this now, a router which has the higher priority becomes as a DR. So among this, which has the higher 255. So router 1 becomes as a DR. Then what happens is, now router 3 will advertise the routes only to DR only. Then this router 1, which is a DR, will advertise the routes to BDR, and all other DR others will advertise. But other routers, now they cannot advertise the route that is received from the DR. It will not re-advertise to anybody again. This is how This is how it will overcome the loop. You can assign the priority value. So if you don't assign the priority value, then it is going to calculate something called router ID. So router ID you can assign manually. If you don't assign the router ID manually, then it will take the something called the highest loopback address. Highest loopback address it will take. If you don't create any loopbacks in the router, then it will take the highest interface address. You know, there are so much things that you can go on speak in the OSPF. DR and BDR is going to be selected only in when your OSPF is running in the broadcast network. And this is used to overcome the loop in the network. And the DR and BDR can be selected based on the priority or the router ID. Priority you can assign from 1 to 255. And the router ID is assigned manually or the highest loopback address or highest interface address. And also the route that is coming from the same area. You remember that area 1 routes, you'll be having O routes. So when you say like an O route, O, these are the OSPF routes by default. OSPF route types. And when the routes are coming from like an OIA, these are the OSPF inter area. Those are the routes that are coming from other area as well. OIA. So we'll try to configure OSPF, then you'll see how it is going to work. And of course, when you have some two routers are there, I have a router 1, we have a router 2. And of course, they are being connected with serial. When you configure OSPF, before configuring the OSPF, first of all, they are in down state. Now, from down state, they'll enter into the initialization state, init. In initialization, the router 1 sends hello message for every 10 seconds. Sending hello message, router 2 sends hello message. Down initialization state. We have different types of the, we can say OSPF states. We call like neighbor states. Like there is a down state. Then second is attempt. Attempt in the sense this router 2 is trying to send hello message, attempting. And then the third one is init state. In OSPF networking, init refers the neighbor state in which the hello package has been received, but no router ID has been received.
These are all interview questions.
Very, very important. So this is generally indicates that the exchange of the information between routers has just begun.
And two-way handshake.
The networking still process and establishing the connection. Means when you are going for here, router 1, down state means they didn't configure any OSPF. Then attempt, you configure the OSPF, that's it. So attempt means is sending the hello message to router 2, but router 2 is not responding to that hello message. Then, so when you say like, because here, yeah, okay, you see here, let me go to the lab. All this is what I am saying, like priority, all those things are general questions, sir. I'm going for enable config T. You see here router OSPF 1. It's a process ID. I'm going for like a network, which is 199.10.1.0, 0.0.0.250, sorry, 003, because subnetted 255.255.252. Wildcard mask is 003. Then I'm going to configure area 0. And let me configure my LAN network also 192.1.0. I can give subnet mask too, no issue. then area 0. That's it. Then end. If I'm checking like show IP, OSP of neighbor, no neighbors are established. So router 1, if I'm going for like a debug, OSP of debug IP OSP of question mark. Say for example, adjacencies. So I'm trying to debug the adjacencies and even the events also. So, but whereas in the now waiting an interface on the serial 000. So router 1 is sending the hello message. From the down state, it falls back to the init state.
Can I ask one question?
Please.
What is debug concept here? Because
Debug is
programming I
used
know.
no, debug is used to capture the packets of the particular protocol actually. You see, I'm debugging to get the information. No full neighbors to build LSS on the interface of Giga 00 or on the serial actually. I want to see the events and the log messages of everything. So you remember when it is connecting with fast Ethernet, it's trying to look for another devices whether to choose either DR or BDR is going to happen. But we don't have any DR and BDR on this. But this router has 199.10.1.1, 191.1.1. What is the router ID for this? Which is the highest IP address? 199. So 199 is taking as a router ID for the router again. I said router ID is calculated manually. If you can define router ID manually. If you don't assign router ID manually, it takes loopback address. I will tell you loopback address later, just after one few minutes. If you don't create the loopback address, then it takes the interface address as a router ID. So if you observe here messages, electing DR, all these are the router ID. Anyway, so this is the main down state, attempt state. This guy explains very good. Orange only, ORHANG, orangergun.net. Warangal. So when I'm going for the init state in OSP of networking, init refers to the neighbor state in which the hello package has been received. So he received the hello message, but it's not responding to that hello message. Maybe in the hello message, his router ID can be missed, he says, but no router ID has been received. This generally indicates that the exchange of information between the routers has just begun, and the network is still in the process of establishing the OSP of neighbors or etching the database and so on. Two-way state means what? You are going to configure OSPF in the router 2. Then router 1 says, let me advertise my network to you, 192.168.1.254. Router 2 says, let me advertise here. But there is something after two-way state. In the two-way state, actually, the neighbor relationship will be established. Then they'll go to extract. Who should be able to exchange the routes information? Then the router says, I have my highest router ID. My router ID is 199. But router 2 says, wait, you don't advertise your database to me. My router ID is 200. I have the higher router ID than you. So router 2 says is going to exchange after you go for extract, then is going for exchanging. So he will exchange his database to router 2, router 1. Router 1 sees also his database. Okay, it will verify its database. Then also router 1 also exchanges database to router 1. Then they'll enter into the full state actually. So there are something called OSP of states. This process will happen in a fraction of a second. But when you are trying to troubleshoot in a big enterprise network, this information will require a lot. Two-way state. Two-way as an OSP of state refers bidirectional communication between routers has been happened. In order for two routers to become neighbor, they must first establish bidirectional communication and exchange hello message for every 10 seconds. Sending hello message is also default based on the network type. Actually for every 10 seconds. But if your network is in for OSP for frame relay is in a older type of networks. There it will take to send the OSP of 30 seconds it will take. Yeah, 30. Once bidirectional communication has been established, the neighbor state will show as two-way. From there, the routers will exchange link state information, because all the routes are going to be advertised in the form of link state information and form agencies, ultimately creating a full functionality of OSPF network. Additionally, BDs and BDRs are elected at the end of this stage. So in two-way state only, who is a DR and BDR is going to be selected. But here in the OSPF, we are in point-to-point network. But here we don't have any DR and BDR election process. Only when our all routers are connected with the switches. At that time, in the broadcast network only, we'll be having DR and BDR. Then they are going for extract, exchange, then loading and the full. Go on, read. This is good website. If you have some given society, there will be pricing to get some courses on this.
Yeah, can you paste it in the chat or hand? Okay.
No, they ask you so much money based on the likeness of Cisco. They have 37 classes.
Oh, I want ice stuff. Yeah. Can you select some ice stuff for me?
Yeah. But 43, this is something they are not the. You see, yeah, it's good. I think if they are all the free means nice. You see how teacher is helping you.
How much they are charging?
I don't know. First time I visited this site.
Okay,
I have
okay,
some
okay.
other sites actually.
Okay.
50
Because
discount.
I am getting one task. I'm already got one task. They have considered like configured one area on
Hmm.
ice, like one
Hmm.
area and one district in the ice,
Hmm.
and they want me to mimic all that another areas in the ice.
Hmm.
So seeing that, I have to mimic other areas. So that project is due for me in next month.
You see
So
the
yeah,
ice on the ice, yeah.
yeah, on ice. So like you can recommend me any like good course whenever you have time. Like I saw on Udemy, but I'm not happy with that.
Mhm. So
Yeah.
you see here, they ask you the money. You see, nobody is giving free. 25 discount for 9 hours left. Lifetime access, 3 month subscription, 1 year subscription, 2 year subscription. But why they are giving 25 for 1 month? I think yes, $25 is for 1 month.
Oh, okay. It's not bad. Because Udemy for each course it is charging around 25, 20, 30, no, 40
Hmm.
bucks for ice courses. Ice courses are very expensive.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's good.
but if it is worthwhile means 25.
You didn't work on ice, you said, right?
Yeah, I didn't work on. I didn't work,
Okay.
but I want.
Okay.
Okay. Courses. But if he is giving, he should give everything.
Yes, sir. I want like basic
All
knowledge on
the
how
Red
to
Hat,
configure. Yeah.
it only one. Microsoft only one. The F5 only one. He's concentrating more on the CBX training.
You have Palo Alto certification, right, Chandu?
So Palo Alto, you'll master, sir. Don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I,
First,
I,
let me clear this CCNA and CCIE. Then I'll go on Palo Alto. But my target is in July. Maybe I'll take Palo Alto course with you. June ending or July. How easy is Palo Alto according to you? Like how much time should I dedicate?
1 month.
1 month? Okay. That's good.
Okay, yeah. So anyway, so this is how OSPF is going to function. Okay. So then we will see the configuration. I want to go with my other areas also. Today we have some big labs, but I am expecting to do this. So the router one has been configured. I want to debug all of them. So the command is you all to stop debug all. So then let me configure router 2 also in area 0. Go to enable config router ISP of 1, then network which is 199.10.1.0 003 003 space area 0. Now, soon after I give, I should get now. You see that all that ISP of 8 states has been done and is entering into the loading state. Full to loading. Loading is done. Means already they exchanged the database. Again, the network, it is 172.172.16.0.0. I can give subnet mask also 255.0.0.0 area 0. Again, the network, which is a serial network of 200.10.1.0, 255.255.255.252, then area 0. Okay. And I give, and that's it. So I'm sure that we required some configuration stuff. Network. This in the case of router 2. This is a main technology wherever you are working, whenever it comes to ISPF or anything, everywhere, you need to understand. Also, we have this same technology in the routing concepts are there in the Palo Alto also, same.
Is there any prerequisite for Palo Alto, like Cisco
No.
Firepower or something like
No,
that?
no,
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 right?
not required, not required.
Okay.
I'm going to configure in router 3 also. Go to enable, config T. I say router OSPF on network, which is 200.10.1.0, 255.255.255.252 space area 0. You should get adjacencies again with router 2. Very good. Again the network, which is 10.0.0.0, 255.0.0.0 area 0. Then you don't have a command no auto summary. OSPF will not support auto summary.
Sir Chandu sir, if we have small networks like now you are doing 3 networks, there are more than 3, what will do, sir? Like you're doing statically, right?
Now I'm
You're
going
doing manually, right?
Now what I'm doing is when we have 3, I said first of all you need to configure them in area 0. This is in all areas, area 0 you have done. So what I do, okay. Consider I am now this branch is coming some other branch. I have some 3 branches are there. I will align proper way. 1 minute. Here the land. Serial for this. Okay. Now take for example, this comes with some other branches. Okay. This router also comes with some other branches. Now let us take two. Okay. So I need to connect also the serial, no serials for this. Serial 02 by 0, 01 by 0. Zero one one one. You should know which serial is connected to where. So I'll give this IP address as okay. Let me give 11001, and this is 11 12 001. This is 13 001. I'm making easy 14001. And if it is 14, this should be 14.0.0.2. And this should be 13 00 13.0.0.2. If it is 11, let it be 11.0.0.2. And this should be 12.0.0.2. Click now enable config interface serial 0 by 2 by 0. You see, you can write the comments in the notepad. What they make it easiest is even you can write enable config interface serial 0 by 2 by 0. Then IP address is 12.0.0.2 to 550.0.0. No shutdown, encapsulation SDLC. Then define clock rate 64,000. Then just you can copy these commands and just observe here. I'm copying 12.0.0.2. If this is 12.0.0.2 by 0, yes, 12.0.0.2 is for this. What I do, make sure that I'm in just privilege mode, right click, paste the command, and that's it. Over. Next one is 02 by 0, 11.0.0.2. It should be 11.0.0.2. Just right click, copy, open the router, go to CLI, right click, paste, and enter. But this is different. This is 0111 1101 0 1 by 0 12.0.0.2. Enable 0 1 by 0 down 1 is 12002, 12001. Some people they make ready made. Then clock rate. Then interface serial 0/1/1. Then its IP address is 11.0.0.1.255.0.0.0. Then we shut down encapsulation and clock rate. Copy this and paste. It's for the middle router.
So for those routers, we are not giving like OSP of area, which area.
No,
that
we
is.
have to do. Wait 1 minute. Just configuring the interfaces. Now once I give an enter, it comes up. It's green. Or you have to configure manually one by one. So after that, in the router, this router, if I'm trying to ping to 12.0.0.1, I should get reply. Yeah, very good. And this router, which is 11.0.0.2, if I want to ping to 11.0.0.1, I should get reply. Ping 11.0.0.1. But other networks, it cannot ping as we don't have OSPF configured.
But we need to give the basic configuration. After that, we need to give the OSP, right?
Serial should be configured. Enable config T serial 0.0.0 now. Serial 0/0/0. Its IP address is 13. 13.0.0.2. Encapsulation clock rate. Yeah. So just right click, copy this, open the router, go to CLI, click no, and just paste them. Enter. This is 0.0.0.14.0.0.2. 14.0.0.2. Then I need to configure this on 0.0.0. 0.0 should be 13.0.0.1 and 0.1.1.1. Okay, it should be 14.0.0.1. This router, if I'm trying to ping 14.0.0.1, it should get reply. Ping space 14.0.0.1. But it cannot ping to 13.0.0.2 because you don't have any routing on the router. So I said OSPF requires more planning because of its hierarchical designing of areas. But the main one is configure the area 0. So here now in the middle router, if I'm going for show IP route, you verify you'll be having the routes of O route. O route are the routes that are coming from same area. That is area 0 routes. So I'm getting 10.0.0.0, which is a loopback of router, the LAN network of router 3, and O, the LAN network of router 2. And there is also WAN network. So there are 3 O. For us to understand, I want to configure this in area 1. And this is area 2. This should be in area 1. And this should be in area 2. Same way, commands are same, but observing here. So if I'm going for this router, which is my ABR, I go to config T, router OSP of 1, then the network is, which is 11.0.0.255.0.0.0, area 1. And also, I need to advertise them in the 12 network also. 12.0.0 also area 1. You can check like a do show run, for example. You see here, 11, 12 are in area 1 and others are in area 0. And it should be the same process, router OSP of 1 only. That's good. So that's it in the case of router 1. So let me do here also. Config T, router OSP of 1. Its network is 11.0.0.0.255.0.0.0. Which area? Area 0 or area?
Area 1.
Huh?
Area 1.
Area 1, yes. That's it. Area 1. And for this is 12. Config T, ROU, router OSP of 1. Again the network, it is 12.0.0.0.255.0.0.0, area 1. Let me configure these routers 3. ABR I'm configuring. Again the router OSP of space 1. Network 13.0.0.0.255.0.0.0. Then area 2. Network which I have 14.0.0.0.255.0.0.0. area 2. The name. Router OSP of 1. Network it is 13.0.0.0.255.0.0.0. area 2. Config T, router OSP of 1. Network which is 14.0.0.0.255.0.0.0. area 2. The name. But you should get some urgencies. So it's not happening. Yeah, it's taking some time, 10 seconds. Now the neighbor is up. So what this ABR does now? ABR, if I'm going for show IP route, in this particular router, you see the routes that are coming from same area will have O route, but all the other routes are coming like OIA. OIA. OIA are the routes that are coming from other area. So this branch, for example, this branch wants to communicate with area 1. You should be able to go to area 0. From area 0 only can communicate. What is this IP? 12.0.0.2. So I am going for this particular router, the last one. And this is ping space. What is the IP of the 12? 12.0.0.2. Got 2, for example. Getting reply. Trace route 12.0.0.2. You see how the packets are going. Getting 14.0.0.1, going to 200, that is ABR, 199.10.1.1, another ABR, 12.0.0.2. This is how the OSPF functions. You can make like so many areas. You can have a LAN, you can keep a switch, you can add so many computers. Also there is a LAN, you can add the PCs. So you need to, this LAN network also you have to configure them in area 2. This LAN network also you have to advertise them in area 2. Also this LAN network also in area 1. This LAN network is also in area 1. Initially configure the area 0, make that lab, then after that you add 2 routers, make them in other area. Okay. And just those are the verification command, like show IP route, for example. If I'm going for here, check end, show IP route or the route to see the routes information, show IP OSP of neighbor, to see the neighbors as well. Then show IP only one neighbor, okay, 119.10.1.1. Then show IP OSP of database. When you give the database, there is a router network, router LSA. This is called LSA1. LSA1 is known as router LSA. These are the routes that are originating from the same area, area 1. That is 11.0.0.2 and 12.0.0.2. That is my own 119.10.1.1. These checksum are incremental. Whenever you make any changes within the area 1, the checksum will be incremental, which is in hexadecimal number, it will be increasing. Summary LSA, these are the routes that are being advertised by the ABR of other areas information to the 12002 router or internal router. This is called LSA3. LSA2 will happen called network LSA. Network LSA will work only between the DR and BDR. So here we don't have a DR and BDR. This is like what LSA is. The routes are being advertised in the form of link states, advertisements as well. So we get like 110.1.0, 191.1.0, 200, 10, 13, 14, all the networks information is there. Who is advertised router? Who advertised this network? 110.1.1. Who is this guy? This is one. If you observe, this router ID is 110.1.1. So he advertised all this network, all this network, this network, this network, this network. All the networks are advertised by for him, by this guy. But we have some concepts of like a stubs. I don't want to have all this particular information in this router. I know I'm going little very fast, but you need to do because it's in labs. I'm trying to explain now. So there is some concept called stub. Stubs are used to minimize the routing table. I can go to router SPF1, say area 1 stub, no summary. I don't know whether this command will work or not. Very good. Area 1 stub, no summary is a command. If you configure stub in one route, if you configure area as a one stub, and if you don't configure the other router, the neighbor will be down. And here, if you check now the command do show IP route, you don't get any routes now. Sorry, because this router also needs to configure as a stub. Area 1 completely, area 1 should be configured as a stub. So how you to do? Area 1 stub, no summary. That detached, the neighbor will be gone. No area 1 stub, no summary. No summary. Now this router also you have to make them as an area 1 stub, no summary. It will be detached. After some 10 seconds it comes. Now the loading is full. Now this what we have done. Let me. I want to minimize the routing table. Why Medipatnam router should have all the routes of other network? This router or this router, which is area 1, I don't want to have the other information. I want to reduce the routing table information. So when you configure the stub concept, and if I check now, show IP route, now we have only two routes, 13 and 14, but show IP OSP of database. Now you get something called like any area 0, area 0, area 1. These are the area 1 routes. But if you check now, show IP route, They'll be pointing to a default route. Here, IP SPF process. Take some time. Okay. You can configure some concepts of stub, totally stub, NSSA, not so stubby area, totally NSSA. There are 4 concepts of stubs. There is also another concept that you need to know. If some areas are unable to connect, I have some routers, for example, this has been connected to the ABR, but this is area 100. This is connected to this area 100. Area 100 is unable to connect to the area 0. So in this scenario, what you can do is you can configure them virtual link. You have some concepts of virtual links also.
Like this is VPN virtual means?
No.
That's different.
Different. Now you see here, when I give clear IP OSP of process, sir, before we have like so many routes are there, OIA. Yes or no? We have so many routes are there. But now all those routes are replaced within a single default route to the ABR. By using this, I should be able to communicate with area 2 also, which is 14.0.0.2. If I'm going for ping to 14.0.0.2, you see I can able to ping. You are working in Chicago area. I don't want to have the Chicago routers to receive the routes from Denver. So these routers which are there in that particular area, you can configure them as a stub. Okay. Don't do sub concept. If you're interested, if you have seen the video, see the video and you do it, sir. So it's already time. It's getting 9:30. And you'll see tomorrow. Tomorrow I will take for another lab of BGP. Okay.
Okay. Thank you,
And you
Chandra.
can
Thanks
take
for
this
your
pic and take this pic if you want. Take the pic,
Yeah.
keep it in your mobile, make the topologies, and you do the labs. Okay, then see you on it tomorrow. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Bye, sir.
Oh, Abdul is in the message. Huh? Sorry, I didn't see the message. Yeah.